Jumbo, fellow adventurers, and welcome to a spiritual tune-up this sunny, beautiful day in Orlando, Florida. I'm Mike Dooley, and here to answer some really great tongue twisters or mind benders, if you will. Why so many contradictions when it comes to spiritualese, the language of metaphysics? The first great question posted just last night. If like attracts like. And we've all heard that, okay? Like attracts like. You don't get what you want, you don't get what you need, you get more of what you are. If like attracts like, then why is there so much credence given to the old adage, opposites attract? Typically in romantic relationships. Opposites attract. Oh boy, I think we all know a little bit about opposites attracting. You know, it's when somebody shows up and they reveal a side of life that we've been oblivious to, and it's so attractive. So, how do you reconcile these two things? It's very, very simple. The thing that is an attractor within each of us is at a very deep core level. Okay, it's not like I like chocolate and she likes chocolate, like attracts like. It's not about the color you like. It's not about the movies you like. It's not about the music you like necessarily. Could be similarities there. It's not about these superficial things that have been adopted by you or somebody else, on the fly in our brief time on earth. Each life is a brief spell on earth, and we're eternal ancient gladiators. We have thousands, tens of thousands, 100,000 lifetimes under our belt, and we existed eternally prior to the illusions of time and space. So it is a very deep core resonance, vibration that attracts one person to another in the sense of like attracts like. It's the goodness level of a person. It is maybe the fear levels of a personality. It is the inquisitive levels of a personality. It is not relevant if somebody is an extrovert and somebody is an introvert. Oh, they're so different. That they may not be different at all. Just different upbringings, but the same vibration on the inside that attracts one person to another. The next of four, so we've got one down and three to go. The next seeming contradiction, Mike, if health is our default setting, and it is, just like abundance, joy, clarity, if health is our default setting, why would we ever get sick? Okay, what is sickness to you? Talking about health, we're talking about physical body. It works with the same for mental health. But what is sickness to somebody's definition? A sore throat, a virus. These are not reflections of a broken body. These are not reflections of a sick body. These are manifestations of a healthy body going through mental turmoil. And what does a healthy body do when there's internal strife and contradiction? It manifests a sore throat. It manifests a sickness. It catches a cold or a flu or AIDS or a pandemic. I'm not making light of these gigantic ailments, including cancer. But everything is a function of our thoughts and the ease or dis-ease of what's going on here. And a sick body is actually a healthy body reacting to imbalance in the mental circuitry here. So in this light, there's no such thing as a sick body, or why does somebody get sick? The valid question would be, how do we get so scrambled in our minds sometimes? And the answer is really simple. We don't go within. We don't align with truth. We assume things to be factual when it's just our parents' opinions. We don't tune into our own resonance, our own spirit, heart-based inclinations, intuition. And so, we think we want wealth and abundance, but wealth and abundance is the root of all evil. And so we've got this inner yin and yang pulling literally the fabric of our essence apart, manifesting ailments. But in the deeper sense, it's all healthy, it's all good, and every sickness, every illness, coronavirus included, is the beginning of a greater healing as we march into brighter, greater lights that will eliminate the contradictions we didn't know we had prior to the symptoms showing up. The third seeming contradiction: if everything was perfect where we were, if everything is perfect in heaven, why would we have ever chosen to come here? Well, because it's perfect here, because it's fun, because we could, because we'd be safe, because no matter what happened, we'd be more for it, because in the blink of an eye, watch this, we're back in the palm of God's hand. Imagine before the illusions of time, space, matter, here, there, and otherwise, we were, in essence, everywhere, always, at once. God was everywhere, always, at once. And in the little rendition of my story, Lost in Space, subsequently retitled An Adventurer's Guide into the Jungles of Time and Space, it's as if God created this bastion of perfection floating through the cosmos, and suddenly there was a place. There was no such thing as a place. Everything was happening simultaneously. God was everywhere, always at once. There was no way you could have a place and be everywhere, always at once. You'd have to dim your awareness of being everywhere, always at once to be aware of a single place as if it was different from all other places. The same thing with locating yourself in time. The only way you could believe in here and now, or let's just better say, the only way you could believe in September 8th, 9:22 Eastern Time, is if you believed you were there and everything else was not part of this occurrence. Suddenly, God, if you will, divine intelligence, had this idea to create dimensions where God could show up and appear and feel distinct from all else that was created. Revolutionary, mind-boggling, the cutting edge of reality creation is to go somewhere and fleetingly forget that you're everywhere, always at once. Whoa, lions and tigers and bears never existed until this. Neither did Romeo or Juliet or anything wonderful in the way we experience these things within time and space. So suddenly, by believing in a here and believing in a now and believing in a there, game on. Now, it's all happening inside of God. And it's all perfect, and our thoughts become things. But until we are fully self-realized, it will constantly seem like life is happening to us. We better react. You better prepare, safeguard, buy insurance. Crazy stuff is happening at all times to the most unsuspecting, wonderful people, leading you to believe you're vulnerable. And hence the question, gosh, why would we come here when stuff can happen to us, when there nothing could happen to us? But here nothing can happen to us either that is not of our own ordination. Our thoughts become things, and this is the hook of living in these sacred jungles of time and space. We're here creating them while we're simultaneously reacting to them. We are streaming manifestors, and we're like, look, lions, tigers, and bears, without realizing we created those lions and tigers and bears. Talk about a game. I mean, no Microsoft or Intel or whatever those game boards will ever compare to you creating your reality now and waking up to discover this mid-dream, and then behold the kingdom of heaven. And we all have this at our fingertips. It's only a thought away. Hence these tune-ups, hence all of my work, hence the work of so many other people in spiritual realms as we move closer to the light, out of the funk, and realize paradise beckons. It is beneath our very feet this very moment, no matter who, no matter how, no matter when. Game on. All right, so that's why we came here, so that we could realize that it's heaven on earth. And then finally, why does God let evil things happen? This hurts. This is difficult. And I've got to tell you that with the proper lens, immersed in just enough truth, suddenly we see things in a totally different light. Like, for instance, if I go to the doctor and he or she gives me a shot of penicillin or something, in that moment, it's hideous, disgusting, violation of my skin and my well-being. It is all bad. But stand back from the equation, the infection's gone, and I'm healed and stronger than I was before. Suddenly, in context, the icky, ugly prick in my arm is part of a greater expansion into my well-being. But with a microscope, it's all bad. As challenging as this may be to understand, the truth is nothing that happens in time and space doesn't eventually make everything better for everyone. Now, I know there's truly hideous, disgusting, awful things that people do to people. And in that moment, like the prick in the skin, there's no good and it's all bad. And I'm not justifying. I'm not ever going to say it is a good thing that something was violated. But if you stand back far enough from the equation, you would see order, meaning, purpose, love, and healing, no matter how disgusting it was. And I'm not denying the disgusting. I'm not justifying it. I'm not saying it's okay. Please throw them in jail and throw away the key and do all those things that society wants to do. I'm not going to get into that debate. I just want to say the question is valid. Why does God let evil things happen? If every bad thing could be seen as the seed to 1 billion good things, if every bad, ugly, evil, vile, disgusting thing was in truth a seed to 1 trillion good things that will roll through eternity forevermore, would there be any such thing as a bad thing? It would be, and I know you could still say, yes, let's not split hairs. There is order, there is meaning. When we can't see it, doesn't mean it's not there. Okay, we are all sparks of God. We're all here by choice. We all knew it could get dicey and it could get ugly. And we all knew that there'd be a higher path that we would all meet up and rendezvous on later on. So anyway, there you have it for Spiritual Contradictions. Thanks for the great questions, everybody. Please post your questions beneath on Facebook or Instagram. Swipe up on Instagram. If you want to join the writer's journey with me and Hope Koppelman, today's the last day. And it's coming down. We have 9,000 people. We hope you join us. Follow that voice inside. It's $49. You get 21 writing prompts. You get 21 passages to go deeply in your own mind, 4 workshops, and a really cool community. So today's the last day. Swipe up on Instagram for my bio to find the link to the 21-day writer journey, or under the video in Facebook, and post your questions below. Thank you for your questions, the engagement, the shares, the stars on Facebook. Lots of love to all of you for letting me do what I do. Hi, Iris, Mark, Mary Ellen, Laura, Stacy. On Instagram, Mirza, pretty name. Julie, Sandra, glad you're here. Lots of love. Isaiah, you're welcome. Tally ho, amigos.